long time ago, the raven showed a bright ball of light to the people of the earth. But it was so bright and it was so hot that it burned them all up. There wasn't anybody left. The raven, he got scorched black as night. He felt very bad about burning up the people, as you can well imagine. So I want to tell you what he did. This was at a time when all the different animals could talk to each other, and they could communicate very well. So Raven asked amongst all his friends, what should he do to put things back the way they were? First, he asked the eagle, what do I do now? I did a terrible thing showing that ball of light around. How can I make some more people? How can I repopulate the earth? The eagle said, don't tell me your troubles, boy. I was around when that great big bright ball of light went up in the air, and it scorched my back all black, and it made my beak curved. Get away from here. So the raven went to the big old bear. Bear, he said, I'd like to make some more people if I could. How can I do this? How can I repopulate the earth? The bear said, oh, ho, ho. Get out of here, don't come to me. That was your fault. So the raven went to all his friends, like I said, and they all told him the same thing. Don't come around here, brother. Don't come around here whining to us. You did it. Well, he finally came to an old turtle, and the old turtle took pity on him. Listen, you go and talk to that big owl you see over there. He knows everything. He'll tell you just what to do. So the raven, with his voice, you know how he sounds, huh? Croak, croak, that's the way he talks. He went over and said, croak, Mr. Owl, how can I repopulate the earth? What do I have to do? And the owl looked at him with his great big golden eyes and said, who? Me, said the raven. I want to know. Croak, how do I repopulate the earth? The owl blinked and said, you'll have to get feathers from the right side and the left side of every bird in the world that you can find. You gotta collect them. You gotta carry them down south. Now keep going until you find an animal that looks like a fox, but not quite so sly as a fox. It's something like a wolf, but it's not so noble looking as a wolf. Keep going, he said, and you'll find him. He's called a coyote, and he's a sly one himself. He's slick. He's a trickster. You'll recognize him when you see him. He's a good dancer, and he's a good singer. You tell him to do his dance around the cedar boughs, and keep it up for at least 4 days. 4 days, you hear? Craw. Yes, I guess I hear all right. I sure hope it works. The owl said, it will. So the raven started off, and he collected feathers from the hummingbirds, and he collected feathers from the orioles, and the blackbirds, and he got feathers from the woodpeckers, and he even got feathers from the eagle, and from the hawks, and the turkey vultures. He gathered feathers from all the birds, from the right side and from the left side. And he took them down south. And as he went south, he passed through mountains, and he passed through canyons and valleys, and he finally came to a plain, a big kind of yellowish, sandy plain with cactus all around. And there on the plain was this animal, something like a fox, but a little bigger, and something like a wolf, but not so noble. And it was the coyote. The coyote was picking his teeth with a cactus needle, laying back on an anthill to let the ants carry the fleas off him. Oh, Mr. Raven, what brings you here? What are you doing with all those feathers? Well, to make a long story short, the raven told him the whole business about wanting to repopulate the earth. And the coyote said, yeah, I guess I can participate in a deal like this. It looks like it might be a lot of fun. Let me tell you what we gotta do. Now we gotta get some cedar boughs and pile them up. And we gotta take all those feathers you collected, and we gotta arrange them around the boughs. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. They placed all the feathers around the wood. A great big bunch of them there were, too, I tell you. It was one awful big bunch of circles around the cedar boughs. Then they lit the fire. And the coyote started dancing. He started to sing. He sang like this. Ooh, 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 ooh. Woo-hoo. And this went on and went on all day and all night and all the next day. Nothing to eat, nothing to drink. Well, do you think that coyote wasn't tired by the time he began the fourth day? I don't think I can dance anymore. I don't think I can dance anymore. Old Raven, who wasn't much of a dancer, and he certainly wasn't much of a singer, you know, crock, crock. He was going thump-bitty-thump, bitty-thump, thump, thump. Thump-bitty-thump, bitty-thump, thump, thump. Oh, yes, you can, boy, you're doing just fine. Oh, yes, you can, boy, you're doing just fine. By then, the fire was burning down low, and all these feathers were kind of beginning to quiver. And as they watched, some of the feathers began to stand right up on end. And do you know what happened? All the feathers turned into little people, beautiful people, all colors and shapes and sizes and kinds. That's the kind of feathers that were there. And that's the kind of little people that there were. But then, a horrible thing happened. There were so many of them that there wasn't enough room. They were fighting and scrambling all around that hot fire to get away from the heat. And the Raven hollered, "Oh my, we gotta do something about this, crock." And of course the coyote stopped dancing and was trying to catch him and calm them down. "We gotta spread him out," he said. "Take him to the four corners of the world." So they took him. The Raven took him on his wings, took him between his legs and in his beak, and he flew him off to the west. And the coyote ran off with great numbers of them hanging out of his jaws, sticking in his ears. Took him off to the east. And then by that time, the Raven was back. And he took a whole batch of them up north. And he took them down south. And the coyote took some of them to the highest peaks. And they took some of them down into canyons and the valleys. They took those little people all over the world. They distributed them all over the earth. And that was it. They came back there and they said, "Phew, boy, I'm glad we got that job done." Yeah, they're good people, but they sure were unhappy, all bunched up around that hot fire. Yeah, but we fixed that. We found them enough room. Yep. Now, it's up to them. Anyway, that's the way the Raven took the owl's advice and made new people for the earth.